Hey! Is this not why you were here?
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Hood Rats podcast, the most underrated, underprivileged, and undocumented podcast. So in front of us, the guy that makes it all happen, the guy with the magic stick, the one and only, El Mr. Louis. And then next to us, our special guest of the day, Dominic Toretto, a.k.a. Betukes. There you go.
Mr. Can't Get Right.
Mr. Can't Get Right.
Hey, fuck yeah.
You were telling us that, so this is going to be a weird episode because the first half was from like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
This half is
From today.
from today. And last time we discussed after that you had a trip planned
Yeah.
with the girl you
Yeah.
met on online, right?
Yeah.
But like it wasn't like a
Chill, it wasn't a girl, but it was some dude from Grindr.
Ew.
Ew, girls. Cooties.
But that's the trip you took, right?
No. Okay,
There's a
because
dude.
so I canceled that.
Oh.
I canceled that, because she started sending me like some, cryptic messages and, like, oh, my name's not really, is this, and I was like, that was the first red flag, and I was like,
Yes, sir.
I was like, you know what, like, so then my uncle was like, hey, dude, like, get it to Arizona, and so
The reroute to Arizona. The
Yeah.
was to Virginia?
it was to Wyoming.
Wyoming.
So
Slipknot.
I had a, Iowa. Yeah, hell yeah. Hey.
Speaking to the tip.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
To Iowa. To see Slipknot? No, right?
No.
She's a fan of Slipknot.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like we just connected
Tips.
like on the we connected like on a different level, like like a friendly level,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I was gonna stay over there for so many days,
With the stranger.
with a
Basically,
stranger, yeah,
yeah.
and I was like, hey, like, I'm from LA, and they're, over there, that's like, that's a different time zone and everything. I was like, hey, dude, like, how am I gonna stay warm? I'm from LA, we got the best weather. And she was like, oh, like, I got a heater, like, I'll turn it up for you. And I was like, nah, I was like, we should, you press body to body, like, cuddle.
You told her?
Yeah, I told her. I was like, what's up? Like, let's cuddle.
Riz.
And she was like, because she's older too. She was like, 50.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And, I only get older chicks.
Yeah. That's,
You know.
That's probably better, huh? Better
Yeah.
than reverse.
Hey.
Younger chicks.
Like, dude, like, I don't really have a lot of game.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just me, man.
Hell yeah.
I like to fucking.
Fuck.
Get wild.
I like to fuck. I love to fuck.
Anything. Torta?
Anything female.
Oh, true. Oh, your alarm.
Oh.
Mom.
Answer.
Hey, mom. I'm doing the podcast.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right, love you, bye.
That's nice. So you'll fuck anything female.
Anything female.
Well, did your mom listen to the podcast? Like the last episode?
What's up?
Did she listen to the last episode you're on?
Yeah.
So she's cool with you talking.
Yeah,
She
I
would be
mean,
like, mijo, ¿qué es eso?
nah,
And she'd be
like,
oh,
nah.
hey, my son fucks.
Dude, we're humans, like,
Yeah.
And it's the cycle of life, they grew me up, they grew me to be this, this kid or whatever, and I grew up a different way,
Yeah.
and I like to fuck.
Yeah.
I love to fuck.
But women only.
Women only, yeah.
You're a sick fuck. You like to fuck?
Yeah.
Kanye West?
Kanye West, brother? Yeah?
You heard that song?
Hey,
No, I haven't heard
Like,
that
heard
song.
that song? Oh.
You're kind of,
You're kinda what?
Kind of feeling dark and ominous from this side of the room.
What?
Because he's the Nazis. Right here.
Hey, but how the fuck you end up in New York then? You didn't get to that, bro.
Fuck. Oh, right.
But finish up the story with the chick, the 50-year-old.
The chick
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
dick.
you
The
know-
chick with the dick,
You
bro.
told her you want to cut her off?
Yeah, the cryptic
Yeah,
message.
I was like, you know, and you know, she started sending like cryptic messages,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, and you know, I'm supposed to be with this chick for like, you know, 6 days or something, and I was like, so my uncle called me up and he was like, nah, you know, fuck that, cancel that, come to Arizona and help me move. I was like, all right, cool. I already had my days off request at work. And so I was like, cool, we're set. And then he tells me, like, he calls me, he's like, nah, come in April. Come in April.
420.
You know, I wish. You know, like, come in April, like, you know, that's, like, closer to the time we're going to move.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Nah.
you know, like, I already have my days off request. You know, I'm kind of excited.
Sir.
You know, and so I was like, fuck, you know, I'm gonna go to New York. I never been there. You know, I just fucking threw a dart on a map
In New York?
in New York. Yeah, I landed at LaGuardia.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You liked it?
I fucking, dude, my whole state, fucking beautiful.
It's nice, huh?
It's nice, dude.
What
Like,
part did you stay in?
I stood in Queens, and then I stood on Park Avenue in Manhattan. And I guess that was like a real like upscale side of New York.
That's right.
Yeah, Manhattan,
You know?
that's where Wall Street's at.
Yeah,
Manhattan,
you know, and I stood on Park Avenue, and like when I was telling people, like, you know, because I was just, dude, I went to New York for nothing. So I was just fucking bar hopping,
Yeah.
you know. What's up?
For yourself?
Yeah, by myself,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and, you know, I was like, fuck, you know, like, you see what we find.
Did you fuck out there?
Yeah, I was trying, man, you know, but,
Puerto Ricans out there,
you know,
Dominicans out there.
nah, you know, it fucking, you know, it's everything, you know, like, you know, I hit it off with this one chick real good. Like, we were talking, and, you know, she was like, oh, man, like, you're staying on Park Avenue? Like, you know, and I was like, hey, dude, like, you know, you want to come, you know, and she was like, you know, like, the only thing, you know, just, like, because of the age difference, you know.
Tell her, fool. You should have told her that you already gone with like a 50-year-old.
No, dude, you know, I put it down. You know, I was like, you know, because, you know, like, why beat around the bush? We know what we both want. You know, I'm here to fuck, you know, and I didn't go to New York for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't travel all this way. I didn't traverse the fucking country.
That's right.
You know, just to
Get
fucking,
blue balls.
yeah. You know, so I was like, you know, I made it point and clear. You know, I even went to they have out there, the Museum of Sex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went there.
Should have took her to it.
Ah,
Get
fuck.
in the mood.
Yeah, dude. You know, like, they had a 4D
Penis?
orgy experience.
When you come on your face?
Pretty much, dude, you know?
crazy.
Like, you know, it was like all these people, you know, it was supposed to be like a whole group, you know, but, you know, it was only like fucking 3 people. I went on like the most random days. Like, I went on a fucking Wednesday to the Museum of Sex.
The 3
And-
dudes or what?
Chinese.
Nah, there was chicks in there, you know, but
You sure?
nah, I'm positive, you know. You know, and then even I was talking to, because I went downstairs to the museum. From the museum, they had a bar.
Get a little bit closer, brother.
They had a bar at the Museum of Sex, and I was like, all right, you know. And, you know, all the dudes, all the fucking drinks.
Dudes.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yo,
dude.
hey, yo.
Drinking dudes, I mean drinks.
Hey, shit. Hey. You know, all the drinks.
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 Dicks.
You know, hey, you know, all the drinks were like fucking. They were gay something.
They were
you know,
gay?
like yeah, like you know,
Section
like.
Island.
You know, like even the 4G orgy experience, you know, I
Was
was
gay.
thinking like it was gay, you know, like they had it like you were fucking like you were like the sperm, and then you were coming out of a fucking
An asshole.
you know, an asshole, yeah. You know, and how I was like, and they even had the fucking air blowing at you. It was
So
a
it smelled
4D
or what?
experience. I don't know how it smells, you know, but you know, I couldn't even smell over there. I had a fucking cold and everything.
Was it snowing? No,
It was cold though, no?
Nah. You know, I went like in the perfect time of the year, you know, because I went like out of random, you know, and
Wait, this month, last month, when was
Yeah, this past month.
it?
yeah. I went March
March. So it's still spring
14th.
or winter.
Well, because I got there the 12th of March.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I landed there, you know, because I just fucking, you know, I'm backpacking, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I had one backpack. I had one backpack. And I was like, hey, like, you know, I was like, nah, you know, like, well, where am I going to stay? You know, so I booked a hotel across the street from the airport, LaGuardia.
Yeah. Queens.
You know,
right? That's Queens, right?
That's Queens, yeah. And I was like, you know, fuck it. So the nearest hotel was right across the street. I stood there, and I was like, cool. And then
Was it a nice hotel?
it was all right, you know, like they, you know, it was called the Plaza at LaGuardia.
So it wasn't like a Hilton, or it wasn't like.
No, it was kind of like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, you know, yeah, it wasn't a top tier or nothing, like, you know, because I just booked it right there,
Just,
you
yeah.
know,
How many nights?
I got two
2
nights at that place,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know, like let me go cruise around, you know, let me go explore the city. You know, because I wasn't there, you know, I was just there to fucking...
You hopped on the subways?
I hopped on the subways. I took you know, for a little bit, you know, on my first day there, I was exploring. I just fucking went I took the L all through fucking Manhattan to Queens. I didn't go to Long Island or,
Harlem.
you know, no, I went to Harlem, yeah, you know.
That's nice. It's ghetto, but it's cool.
Like,
It's
you know,
different.
I fucking, you know. Hey, what's up, fool? Hey, fool. Hey, I'm doing a podcast. All right, fool. Hey, I'll call you back. Late.
Shout out the homie.
Hell
Who's that?
yeah. That's my homie, Merp.
Shout out Merp.
Yeah, you
Merp,
know,
merp,
like, those are my two homies, you know, and like the only two dudes, like, you know, that been riding with me,
Merp?
you know, Merp.
Who else?
Merp and Merp. You know,
Oh.
hey, you know, like, you know, that's my squad. You know, Merp squad. You know, like,
Get right, Merp and Merp.
hey, can't get right, Merp and Merpy.
Merpy 13. So you went to Harlem.
Yeah. I was in Harlem.
You going to Brooklyn?
I went to Brooklyn. I just didn't go to the bridge
Bridge?
or
Oh,
nothing.
Nice. At night?
Yeah?
It's sick, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You been there?
Yeah, it's nice. At night, it's super fucking. You see the whole skyline of.
Of New York,
Just-
LA. What?
New York.
You're fucking time traveling or what?
Yeah, we're just missing the two towers that were there, right?
Yeah.
Did you go to the memorial?
Yeah. Well,
Or the museum?
I seen it, you know, cause you know, like,
Because the museum's under.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
like-
yeah.
it's
No,
nice.
you know, I seen it. You know, I passed, cause I went walking on my second day. I just went walking through all of Manhattan. I fucking went up and down, like, dude. I fucking walked.
How many steps?
I probably had like fucking
40, 50,000.
at least.
Yeah.
You know, and cause you know where we're from LA. You know, we drive everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so I wasn't used to all that walking. and now I guess I'm not from out there, so they're fucking all these guys use Uber and
Taxis.
fucking taxis, and I went out there. I was like, what the fuck. It was new, so I was like, I stood at the first hotel I seen,
Plaza LaGuardia.
the Plaza, and my stay was excellent, and then I was like, man, I want to get some pussy, man. Like, where should I stay?
You looked it up on Google. Where can I get pussy?
Nah, because you can't be like that on Google, because then the fucking they start fucking tracking your phone and shit, they start tracking your phone and shit.
You're fucking your FBI agent.
Yeah.
Talking to your agent.
Hey, no, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because
So what was your plan? The game plan? You wanted?
So I was like, where is the most, what is the most?
Cleanest.
No, not cleanness. But what's the most upscale place I can stay at? So
Manhattan.
and it was telling me the Waldorf Astoria. And I was like, I was walking around Astoria and I was like, ooh, and then I looked at the prices and I was like,
Nah.
like fucking $1,600 a night on a fucking Wednesday.
Astoria is like a high end.
Yeah, and
I think.
I was like, that is out of my price range.
If I haven't heard of
So-
it, it's too expensive, brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
Quinta.
so I was just walking around Manhattan and I was like, where the fuck am I gonna stay? And I landed on some fucking random hotel
Where at? Manhattan.
in Manhattan, and I landed right on the perfect. I stood on Park Avenue, and I guess that's like the more like upscale place to stay.
Put cheaper than Astoria.
No, it was way
cheaper?
cheaper. Way
What,
cheaper.
a couple $100 a night.
Yeah.
That's magic compared.
Yeah, dude,
Wednesday?
Hey, but because my stay, I got there on a Tuesday, so I had from Tuesday to Thursday at the Plaza. So my other half of the stay, I went to Park Avenue.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, and and then I went I went down the street, because I was just fucking bar hopping, there's nothing else to do out there, what the fuck, I'm gonna go, fucking sightsee, what the fuck,
You went to the Times Square?
Yeah, I went to Times Square.
Bro, you should have stayed for the fight. Then it was
Oh yeah,
If you would have known, would you have planned it differently?
no,
Or go back, dude.
hey, fuck it, huh? You're down?
It's a free fight, not.
Nah.
It's a free
What are your thoughts on that fight, bro?
It's a free fight.
With the whole Ryan Garcia versus Rolly.
Nah, I think it's a good fight,
Who got it? I think Ryan got it.
Nah, yeah, Ryan got it.
Yeah.
Well-
Rolly, he's another fuck, because I get it, they gotta have their image, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking knock everybody out, but
He's funny, huh? And he's good. He's talented. He's good. But
Rolly?
He's good, but he's not gonna. He was world champion, but he's not gonna be.
Yeah, nah, dude, that dude, he's a little fucking pipsqueak, like.
Oh, like Javante.
I seen you guys follow like that Street Beefs or whatever,
Yeah, I see some
that
of
channel, like
Yeah.
the Friendly Fade Factory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like that fool be posting up around here a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I be wanting to fucking let me put my skills to the test.
And fight,
You know, it's random. You know, and you know, but it's friendly. It's friendly. You know, but you
Gloves
know,
and everything?
yeah, with gloves.
Bro, call it Rolly.
Fuck, dude. You know, you think he'll, you know, because like that same dude. I'm telling you, he hosts all these events. He went to New York and he caught Tank on the fucking street, and he was like, "Hey, bro, like, you know, like you're down to catch the friendly, you know," and then like Tank kind of like and Tank was like kind of like he ignored him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, all right, so, you know, but, you know, like, I understand Tank, too, you know, like, you know, because, you know, say they fucking, all right, say he would have said, like, I'm down, let's knuckle up. They put on the gloves, and then, boom, he hits this dude, and, you know, like, now you broke my jaw, now I couldn't eat for a week, you know. Some stupid shit. You know, everybody just trying to look for the next move to come up off of someone else.
And then Tank gets paid millions to fight.
Yeah,
fucking,
you know, for what? For free?
And lose if you get sued?
It's a lose-lose. So, you know, I understand Tank.
But who are you calling out?
Devin Haney. Call out Devin Haney. He don't hit hard.
No.
What are your thoughts on Devin Haney, bro?
Fuck Devin Haney. Fuck Devin Haney.
Why?
I fucking hate that dude.
Why,
you know,
though?
he's a fucking fucking bitch.
Why?
You know, his dad does all the talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He's on
You know-
the undercard of the Ryan fight.
yeah.
Bro, how is that
Yeah.
possible? The
You know, like,
Ryan's a big ass star, man.
you know, like, check this out. Like,
Check it out.
check it out. You don't even know what I'm talking about
Damn.
because
boy.
I'm just trying to come off the clout. No doubt.
SoundCloud
You already
rapper.
know what I'm about.
Damn.
Hey,
But no doubt, it's ballsy for Devin. I give him props. 'Cause he took a fight on the undercard to beat your ass because he knows that he can't sell tickets.
yeah,
He can't without big ass names like Ryan.
yeah,
He won't be able to.
yeah.
sell
You know, cause you know, he's a fucking
even to a female. On the
yeah.
undercard.
You know, dude. He's fucking at the fucking low.
Devin
He's at the bottom of the fucking. I want to fucking
Haney?
Devin Haney. Fuck Devin Haney. Like, you know, I would fucking uppercut his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will fucking just, you know, like, hey, dude, what's up? You know, I probably miss, you know, but, you know,
You would try.
it's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah.
he knock. You think Haney can knock you out? I think he'll knock you out.
Hell no. All right, check this out. Like, he'll land one on me,
He'll have a bunch.
but
He's very good. He's
no,
technical.
you know, he you know, but this isn't a fucking boxing match. You know, this the fucking streets, homeboy.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, there ain't no fucking standing 3 count. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you know, it's real life. You know, so
You kick him, you scratch him, you bite him, headbutt him,
Sure.
anything. Huh?
yeah, I'll do anything. I'll fucking bite him.
Bite his fucking nose off.
I'll bite his fucking nose off.
Just bite his ass off.
Ew.
You thought about it. Why you think about it? Well,
Hey, dude, you know what? You're a dick, dude. Why you put me in that predicament?
You put
You know,
yourself in that
no. You said
you said that
you
dude's
mentioned
gonna drink.
you biting. You know, I just said
I proposed a question.
I'll fucking
Uppercut him.
I'll uppercut him, and then you were like, you'll bite his ass off.
No, I didn't know.
Where the fuck? You know, like I'll bite his nose off. You know, like
What about his dad? What did his dad?
his dad. You know,
His dad shit talking to her.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like 3 famous dads that shit talk.
Hey, who do you think is the worst dad? Bill Haney or the LeVar brothers? What's that fool's name?
Josh LeVar?
Nah. What's that fool's
I
name?
don't-
The Ball brothers. What's his name?
the ball. I don't know. I just fucking Lamonzo or Lamelo or
Yeah.
some shit. I don't know. They all have some fucked up names.
Jello, Lamelo, and Lonzo, I think. He 3 for 3 successfully. 3 for 3.
Yeah.
He
Hey, you know.
lost a foot he lost a foot, you saw?
He lost the foot?
Yeah, he amputated his foot.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And then he made a video like saying, yeah, I lost a foot, but I got 3 kids in the NBA or something like that.
Oh.
Hey. Hey, I don't gotta have a foot now.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's happy
like,
about it.
you know, hey, you know,
Not happy about it, but
you know, whatever. Like he already has his, you know, he's set. You know what the
He's
fuck?
like 6 years old. He's married to the
You
same
know?
woman for the last 20, 30 years.
You know,
Yeah,
or even because chicks come and go.
Yeah, he's
You
loyal,
know?
though.
You know,
3 millionaire kids. He's a successful dad.
yeah, hell yeah, dude.
But you know who's trying to catch
These hands?
clout
Who?
off of him? You know, Newman.
Newman.
He played basketball with the Ball brothers,
Nah, you know, I don't know nothing about that.
but he's 5'5".
Yeah,
Trying to get clout.
he's a short king.
Short King, and I think he was like the original one to have like because you know how LeVar Ball had a reality show.
Mm.
The Newman guy was the first to do it. Like,
Oh,
had
shit.
Cameras in high school though. Like, he
Oh,
was,
fuck.
Like, he was for a moment he was bigger than them, the Ball
Mm.
brothers. And the Ball brothers like they're more talented. And this guy's 5'6", something like that, and still trying to make the NBA. He's like 22, 23 right now. And his sister's the OnlyFans model. And then the dad's always like, bro, my son is more famous than any of the Ball brothers. I'm the original Bob, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than them. They're trying to catch fame off of me. And
Hey, was he famous before?
who? The Newman?
The dad.
No, just some dude that took. He always like crash out at the games, like, "What are you doing?" Like one of those type of dads that like scream at the kids. And he claimed that he's more famous than them, and his son's like the YouTuber.
You know, like I get it in a way, cause
Trying to promote.
like, cause you gave life to that seed that sprouted and eventually became the man that they are, but
Oh, you're talking about the balls?
yeah,
Yeah. Wait, you buy the balls off?
hey dude,
He gave seeds. And they grew up to be. What were you saying?
so the Ball brothers.
The ball, bro.
What I don't even know their fucking names.
Just call them 3 balls.
She called him delicious.
Yeah.
My
Hey.
in the corner will read us on that.
Hey, I've heard that one.
That's one of the Ball brothers.
Yeah. Hey,
Jello, I think.
jet lag.
Jello.
Hey, dude, I had some sick ass jet lag when I came back.
The 8-hour flight.
Fuck no. I had a layover in H Town.
Oh, you were in Houston?
H Town in Houston. Hey, dude. Hey.
Perrito.
Hey, and I, for the layover, I was like, let me go to the bar, let's see what's up. It wasn't long enough to fucking go out and explore, so I was like, let me see what's up. Let me go to the bar and, so I went to the bar and, talking to some chick and, like, oh yeah, and, we're like, oh yeah, like, cause, I go for the older chicks, and then,
Menopause and up.
and yeah, menopause and up,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, nah, I don't fuck with it. If you haven't hit that, stay away from me.
Yeah, wait for me, dude.
A lot out there.
You're at the bar in Houston.
Yeah, I was at the bar in Houston, and I was talking to this chick.
With dicks?
Nah, she didn't have a dick.
Oh. How do you know?
And
Like a older
this older chick. I
45,
was,
50?
around there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Dick?
She fine?
She was cute. She could take it.
She could take it. She had a hole.
That's something to poke.
It's a smell. Put your nose in there.
Yeah.
If hypothetically speaking, if she was down, and she's like, only right now, because my flight's to Colorado, what would he have done?
Well, because, I only had a 1 hour layover. So, I was at the bar and, she was telling me like, oh yeah, but then towards the end, I'm married, I have this many kids, and she was like, oh yeah, but we do, to go our own ways, when we're on flights, and I was like, fuck, dude, we're at the airport. And that was my first time flying. Ever. So I was like, I was like, fuck, dude, like, this shit is trippy, I gave myself extra time to be able to navigate through the airport, so I could get to my fucking gate. The terminal, and then I found my terminal or whatever, the gate.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, cool. So I know where to go. And I went straight to the bar.
What do you drink at the bar?
No, I just drank beer.
Brewskis?
Yeah, I just drink beer.
Ultras?
Ultras.
You drink ultras?
Yeah.
You are gay. What the fuck?
Hey, dude.
Ultras?
I'm trying to last, all right? Ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I was kidding about you being gay earlier, but you really are gay.
Hey, dude. You know what, dude?
Tecate, Corona, fucking... Estrella.
Tecate. Okay. First of all those Mexican beers, they don't have those in fucking white country.
Bro, yes, you do. We're the number one importer of them. No, I'm just kidding. The airport is probably hard to find one, huh?
Nah, well, they only had, fucking, fucking trendy beers, I guess,
White Claw.
over there, White Claw.
You like IPA?
I fucking like IPAs, yeah. I like, the stronger, and people are like, ugh, dude, I drink fucking pure Bud Lights, and nothing else.
You like Buddha Ranger?
I love Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah. Then they fuck you up.
Do they?
Fuck yeah.
Well, you like 805?
Yeah, I like 805s.
Those are strong, huh?
Those are strong.
They're pretty good.
But they're good, they go down nice.
Yeah. They're yeah. You go down nice, down the throat.
Hey, Albert,
dude.
Albert, you know how you like older women? What do you think about men, bro, that would get with a chick that has 3 kids? What are your thoughts on those men, brother?
Well,
marry, be with, not just fuck, be with.
Yeah. Because that's a whole different thing, me. I'm single. I don't got nothing, now, let's say, I go out there, I meet a chick, oh yeah, dude, I have 3 kids, and,
Sign up for
how
a
many
magic
baby
school
dads?
bus.
How many baby dads?
That's a good question.
It's a good way to start.
They're from 3 different dads.
Red flag. 3 red flags. Right?
Look. I'm not worried about nothing, and you got 3 kids to worry about.
Yeah.
So, I think we're not on the same plane.
Yeah.
You got your shit to worry about. Me, I don't got nothing to worry about. So
man.
I'm fucking, I'm chilling. I went to New York. I fucking winged it, dude, and I had a fucking great time. I fucking, I didn't even go see, I went over there with, my dick in my hand. I have no plans, and, I was like, dude, I'm gonna see the Statue of Liberty.
You saw it?
I didn't do that. I just got drunk out there.
Yeah.
I just got fucked up every day. Every fucking day.
Yeah, and imagine if you were a stepdad to 3 kids.
Yeah,
you
fuck that,
Okay, brother, you're alone in the situation.
Not me.
Oh, who was it?
That was Butters, brother.
Butter. Oh, okay. Our boy was saying that he would date a girl with 3 kids.
Yeah,
3 with daddy is too much. was the cops. Three baby daddies a lot. 2 baby daddies, you can get away with it. It's like, all right,
Hell no.
Impregnate me twice, shame on you. Impregnate me 3 times. That's my
Yeah,
fault.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, what the fuck? To be
Stop that.
impregnated
3 times.
3 times
3 different dudes.
by different dudes each time,
Tres leches, huh?
you know?
That's
Dude, you know, like,
to each your own, huh? I mean,
you know,
girls
like,
wanna do
you
it.
know,
Well,
like,
they all have
you know,
different dads, so they don't fight over the same dad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the terrenos are never gonna be fought over because 3 different terrenos, right? The fucking inheritance, right?
That's if the fucking dad's not over there with more
Hey.
kids from a different woman.
No, true.
hey, you know, like, I'm single,
Right, mingle.
you know, man, I've been mingling, man, you know,
That's right.
you know,
Toretto.
and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking player, I get fucking pussy all the time, you know, cause I don't get pussy for shit, you know, like,
Hit or miss, huh, brother?
yeah, you know, it really is. You know, and you know, I'm just out here winging it. You know, I'm on Sunset Boulevard. You know, I just parked. You know, I got that shit for 2 hours. You know, I'm gonna add some more when I get down there.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm gonna go.
Bro, you know what the issue is? It's not you, brother. You're a king, brother. You know what the issue is that these women, bro, that are all used up, they think they're like
Yeah,
tens, bro.
yeah.
You think? Can you believe that, bro? They have like fucking 6 kids, bro. They think they're 10 out of 10.
You know,
they think they're
hey.
entrepreneurs because they do OnlyFans, bro. They don't let a real man like you, bro, get some pussy, bro.
Damn, you know, and you know, it's like, dude, you know, like, you know, you gave it to, you know, 6 other deadbeats,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, give us one
before
more.
me.
Yeah.
You know, well, what's one more, dude? You know,
Yeah.
you know,
If
you
you're on
still look
Sunset-
good.
If you're on Sunset for today, go visit Silver Platter. It's like a sick ass bar.
Yeah, I was gonna go to what the fuck? It's that one where River Phoenix died. You know who that is?
Phoenix? Nah.
From
Guitars?
no, Stand By Me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
Stand by me.
When the night. Hey,
That's a
but
quinceañera. Every quinceañera plays that song.
They see you that one.
Chris Chambers.
No.
That was like the guy in Stand By Me, like the cool kid.
Oh, I don't remember.
You know?
It's old school, huh? He died what, in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, no, well.
River Phoenix.
90s, I think. River Phoenix.
died in
He
the
died
90s?
in the 90s. Yeah,
'Cause that
yeah.
sounds
He
old.
got killed right here. What the fuck is it called?
Alvarado, Rampart, Sunset, in Silver Lake, North Hollywood,
It's right here. It's down the street, dude.
Los Felix, MacArthur, Echo Park.
It's right here on
Glendale,
Sunset. It's
108th, 109th, 110th.
no,
He got shot up?
no. He got stabbed.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Guilty.
some
mean-
shit. You know,
Jealousy. Mostly jealousy.
you know.
Brother, it's 1 o'clock. I want you to send a message to all the single,
Milfs. All the single milfs.
or married, because fuck it, huh? Whatever comes.
Whatever
Single or
comes.
married. I want you to the closing remarks. Send a message. Yeah.
That's right. There you go. Hey, listen up, tias.
Talking to the mic.
Listen up, you fucking sexy tia and milfs.
Hey, dude.
No,
No, dude. Bro.
Hey,
Ladies,
hey, dude.
women.
Hey, dude. I'm fucking ready. All right.
All right, that's good. You want to send a message to anybody?
Shout out the milfs. Shout out the milfs with no kids. Real entrepreneurs. Fuck the bitches from OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Shout out the homie Louis. Shout out fucking Betux looking like fucking Dominic Toretto. And thanks for coming, brother.
But
yeah.
again, we have to do this again.
Hell yeah,
For
dude.
the 3rd episode, we'll see. We'll upload this, and then maybe from that
We gotta
time,
get a milf, bro. We gotta get like an older woman to like come in here and like kind of like a blind date type of thing. Yeah.
We'll plan something. Maybe you go on another trip. Maybe you have some more interesting stories in between now and whenever we come back, and then we'll see if anybody takes to your fucking plea.
Hey, dude. You know, because, you know, I prefer it, you know, someone like that, you know, I know or we know, but you know, like if not, you know, who cares, man? You know,
Life's too short.
life's too short. You know, like you know, I go like, see, dude, I fucking went to New York, you know, just on a whim, just fuck it, you know, and I went out there with my dick in my hand, the backpack,
And that's it.
and that's it. And, you know, I booked a hotel across the street. Second hotel I stood on, fucking Park Avenue.
Living life.
Turns out that's the fucking,
Mecca.
that's like, oh man, you're staying on Park Avenue? Like,
Hey, wait, one more thing. Hey, one more thing. If we were to get a milk, you don't discriminate, right? Like we go like after like, you know, the darker the berry.
Ethiopia.
oh, hey, you know what, dude? I love the black chicks.
Yeah?
I love black chicks.
So you're like would be down with like a older like Aunt Jemima?
Oh man, that's my favorite.
All right.
I have a show.
All right, guys. See you guys soon. Peace out.